Okay, see you there.
You said that you always had faith that you could make it.
Yes.
And does that come from your family, from your father or your mother? You said that your father showed you the game and your mother taught you what?
My mother taught me strength. My mother taught me, she taught me in a quiet way fearlessness. She doesn't think she did, but she's a Katherine Johnson, a quiet storm, and my dad was the loud one. And they were both just really hard workers, blue collar. My dad was a metal fabricator, and he worked for the government. My mother moved from the South, and she worked for this department store at the time. It was called Woodward and Lothrop, and she literally started in the basement putting price tags on merchandise. And when she retired, she climbed the corporate ladder. She had her own office. She was a manager. So my dad used to do, he had contracting jobs, and he had a hustle on the weekends, like to earn money. He would put bars on people's windows. So I went to work with him in his pickup truck. So I understood how to work hard. I don't know what else to do. If I'm not working, I'm nervous. If my publicist in there, I used to be like, Pam, is there another job? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm learning how to slow down now, though.
You said you went to L.A.
Yes.
You had a child while you were still in college.
Yes.
And you went with him to L.A. with $700. What was the plan?
To make it. To be on the stage talking to you. I mean, I put myself through college. My dad's truck was repoed when I went to my first year, and so I was like, I don't want to put that burden on my family. And so I literally worked 2 jobs. I worked at the Pentagon, and then I worked at night as a singing, dancing waitress on the Spirit of Washington. You guys have the Spirit of Chicago here. And I went to school full time. And then when I became pregnant, it became very difficult for me to work the 2 jobs, and so I found myself on welfare and food stamps and WIC, but that's okay because I used the system. It's all good. I got out. My son doesn't even remember. But yeah, I can't. I guess something in me it's a fight in me that I just have. I think we all have it. You just got to tap into it.
Exactly.
You have to tap into it.
We're seeing that right now. How can it hold? Do you think it will hold? What will it take to hold?
Well, has to keep supporting them.
Right.
I hope it holds. Lawrence Fishburne said something very interesting to me. We were backstage at some award show, and Blackish was on, Empire was on, Scandal. This big explosion of black actors working, and he's been around. He's just standing there in this calm. And I'm talking to him. He said, "Yeah, well, I hope it lasts." He said, "But this is like a 7-year cycle." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Think about it. Every 7 years there's this explosion. The industry's like, it's too white, there's not enough blacks, it's not diverse enough." And then all of a sudden it's an explosion where all the black people are working, and the white people are like, ain't no jobs for us, blah, blah, blah. And 7 years later it's switched, And I guess what it's going to take is for us to stop saying it has to be black or white and just make it what it is when I walk outside my door. Or when my son brings his friends over to my damn Rainbow Coalition. So if we continue to move that way and stop making it white this, black that, I think that's when we won't see a 7-year cycle.
Right.
And I think the danger in what I say is a danger because the success of Empire sparked, oh Lord, it's black people, hire all the black people. But then the danger in that is when the shows start failing, oh, it's not the black people, take away, fire all the black people, So I hope that we can get past, like I said, the whole separate thing, black, white. Just make it what I see in this audience.
Right. Right. And what we're seeing are African American filmmakers, producers, people behind the scenes as well. And that makes a difference too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it can't just be all one or all this or all men or all... because the human experience is not all one. Otherwise, it'd just be one race or one gender. But it's not. And we got to get along, damn it.
What I love about you is that you declare yourself out loud, you own yourself out loud, and it's really beautiful and powerful.
Thank you. Get it from my daddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for receiving it.
What's the word? 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 I'm stepping now. What's the word? 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 Hey, what y'all tell me? See, I don't practice, but still my